Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Uranus Sextile or Trine South Node in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects of the natal chart. They're a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have Uranus Sextile or Trine the South Node in the natal chart, you may easily find inspiration, which is Uranus, for doing the things you are naturally proficient at, which is the South Node. Now, if you have, say, the South Node in Sagittarius as an example, you may be naturally proficient. It could be simply expanding horizons, or publishing, advertising, printing press operations, sports, the outdoors. It could be expressing philosophies, maybe something tied in with religion or foreign travel even. Now, the thing is, Uranus Sextile or Trine the South Node in the natal chart may also manifest in the same, as I stated before, may apply for things you are trying to get away from. In other words, having, easily being able to find the inspiration in getting away from the things that you may need to. Now, if the South Node, say is in Capricorn as an example, it could be an overly negative or pessimistic or rigid kind of outlook, or being, overly, consistent with things in general, or just depressive tendencies, as some examples, and or maybe there may be some authoritative qualities that you need to get away from, as an example. Now, also, to Uranus Sextile or Trine the South Node in the natal chart may also be expressed in easily being able to balance the activities with friends, which is Uranus, and those prominent in your past, which is the South Node. Now, the thing is, if you have Uranus and Scorpio as an example, one or more friends may actually be a Scorpio Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be those that are resourceful, or resilient, empowering, transforming, intense, deep, investigative, probing, and incisive, but may also at the same time be jealous, manipulative, and vindictive as well. And the thing, too, is you also may easily be able to balance activities that are associated with your goals and aspirations, which is Uranus, and the things you have the natural ability for, which is the South Node. Now, if the South Node is in Virgo as an example, which you have a natural ability for, maybe tied with analysis or something, diagnosis, things associated with health, nutrition, doing, could be intellectual, cerebral endeavors in general, organization, compartmentalizing as some examples. And also, too, Uranus Sextile or Trine the South Node in the natal chart may also manifest in really needing to get away from, or having the ability, I should say, to get away from, which is the South Node, friends, groups, clubs, and organizations, which is Uranus, that may be affecting you to your detriment with little difficulty. So, if you have, say, if Uranus is in Capricorn as an example, those groups, clubs, and organizations, they may be associated with business or something with the government or politics, accounting, dentistry, information technology, masonry, carpentry, architecture, or construction as some examples. And they may also be something about them that's somewhat negative to you, or restrictive. I mean, considering that we're talking about zodiac sign Capricorn. Now, another thing too, at the same time, the people, your friends, people again that are prominent in groups, clubs, and organizations, which is Uranus, may be beneficial in terms of the expression of the natural built-in abilities, which is the South Node. Now, let's say if you have the South Node in Aquarius as an example, those natural built-in abilities may be tied in with expressing ingenuity. It could be an ability to work with groups, doing things that are altruistic, or it may even be something associated with Aquarius, like a certain field, such as astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, innovation, meteorology, or even rocket science, as an example. And also, too, these aspects can indicate readily leaving behind, which is the South Node. It could be rebellious, non-conforming, idiosyncratic, and bizarre qualities, which is Uranus. If you have Uranus and Libra as an example, those qualities may be shown. Maybe they're expressed more in one's relationships, as an example. Maybe the person has to do with things connected with balance, one way or another, such as just being, overly exacting with being fair, so to speak. Well, I'm going to give this person, exactly 4 ounces of something to drink. I'm going to give the other person the same exact amount. Things of that nature, just throwing that out arbitrarily as an example. Now, another thing, too, is that these aspects can also suggest easily expressing much selflessness and altruism, which is Uranus, with those that played an integral role in your past, which is the South Node. Now, the South Node is in Aries as an example. People played an integral role in your past, one or more of them. They actually be an Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody the traits of the sign. It could be. There are those that are combative, forceful, energetic, aggressive, assertive, courageous, brave, straightforward, outspoken, but may also be overly disputatious, impulsive, and impetuous as well. And also, too, you may have little trouble or difficulty finding the freedom and independence, which is Uranus, in that first half of life, which is the South Node. Now, Uranus and Libra can emphasize the freedom and independence in terms of one's relationships, as an example, or some kind of artistic expression. Maybe it's something with negotiation. As some examples, Uranus and Aquarius may be more, as another example, may be more tied in with freedom and independence regarding goals, aspirations, objectives, one's friendships. Another thing, too, is that the same may apply for one's overdeveloped and redundant qualities, which is the South Node, as far as having little trouble finding the freedom and independence to express those qualities. I mean, South Node in Virgo, there may be some over-analytical skills, or, analyzing things to the point where they don't need to be analyzed, such as seeing the dot within the dot in an astrological placement, as an example. And also, too, if you're, this is for those that believe, in past lives, is that you may have easily expressed ingenuity, which is Uranus, in a past life, which is the South Node. Now, if you have, if Uranus is in Capricorn, that ingenuity maybe was taught in information technology or something with accounting or math even, or architecture, Uranus and Aquarius. Ingenuity may be expressed with computers or electronics or astronomy, even astrology, in some cases. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learned saying stay well.